Hello, precious boys and girls. I hope you're well. Welcome to Learning with Avant-garde Books. Today, we're going to be learning about polar animals. That's right, animals that live in the North Pole and the South Pole. Let's get ready. I want you to get into a very comfortable place. Just get relaxed and let's learn about some of our polar animals. All right, boys and girls, look at your screen, and do you know what animal that is? That is an Arctic fox. Say that with me, Arctic fox. This fox isn't always white. Now, here are just a few facts about the Arctic fox. The Arctic fox has thick fur that helps it conserve heat in rigid temperatures. And Arctic foxes even have fur on their paws. This allows them to walk across snow and ice. And in the summer months, Arctic foxes have a brown or gray coat, and they grow the thick white coat in the winter. And they're the only ones that can do that and change color in the summertime. So boys and girls, that's our first polar animal, the Arctic fox. All right, boys and girls, look at that little cute fellow. He is an Arctic hare. Arctic hare. But this is what's interesting. They are very, very quick. They can run at speeds of 40 miles per hour. I mean, that's really, really fast. A threatened hare will stand on its hind legs, tuck one forelimb close to its body, and hop away in a three-legged stance. Wow. This leaves the appearance of a three-legged animal in its tracks. And that's different. Wow. So, boys and girls, say this with me. Arctic hare. Arctic hare. All right, boys and girls, here's another beautiful polar animal. It's called an Arctic tern. It is a bird. And guess what? They migrate around 25,000 miles every year, leaving their Arctic breeding grounds for their winter home in Antarctica. That is neat. And it's the farthest yearly travel of any bird. So they go farther than any other bird in the world. And most tern courtship takes place high in the air, with pairs and groups performing high aerial flights. Wow, that was some interesting information about this beautiful bird called the Arctic tern. Let's say it together. Arctic tern. All right, now let's look at this. Arctic wolf. That is an Arctic wolf. And they really know how to keep warm. The Arctic wolf has a very thick coat, and it enables it to withstand sub-zero temperatures. You got to understand, boys and girls, that it gets very, very cold in the North Pole and the South Pole. The temperatures go below zero, so the animals have to have a fur that will allow them to stay warm. It even grows a second layer of fur for extra warmth in the wintertime. Arctic wolves can even survive in conditions that bring about 5 months of total darkness per year. Wow. And that's why the animals are so light, boys and girls, because there is not a lot of sunlight sometimes in the North and South Pole. Wow, we're going to keep learning about our Arctic and our polar animals. You're doing a great job. Let's keep learning. Okay, boys and girls, here's another interesting polar animal. It's called a bearded seal. And one of the interesting things it does is it smashes its head through thin ice to create breathing holes. Isn't that interesting? And also, can you believe this? They can sing. That's right. they can sing, well, sort of. Male bearded seals perform underwater vocalizations, wow, in order to attract females during mating season. Wow, that's very, very interesting. So apparently they make this beautiful, eerie, and hauntingly beautiful sound. Boys and girls, that's a bearded seal. Repeat after me. Bearded seal. Now, you might have seen this kind of whale before. It's called a beluga whale. Say this with me, a beluga whale. This whale, it has a very distinctive forehead, and they call that a melon, and the beluga can alter the shape of its melon by shifting air around its sinuses, and that's kind of interesting. This bulbous forehead may help the whales with echolocation, so that means the sound can help them locate certain things. Because of their wide range of vocalizations, beluga whales are sometimes known as the sea canary. They make at least 11 distinct sounds, from chirps to whistles, and belugas in captivity can mimic the sounds of human speech. Ooh, wow. That means they are very, very smart animals, boys and girls. So here is another polar animal, the beluga whale. I'm proud of you. Let's keep going. Okay, boys and girls, let's continue learning about our polar animals. This animal is called a caribou reindeer. And you know what? It mostly feeds on grasses and plants in the summer and eat lichen and mushrooms during the winter. Wow, look at that, the caribou reindeer. Let's say it together, caribou reindeer. Good job. Okay, beautiful boys and girls, let's keep learning. This cute little fella is called a harp seal. Say this with me, harp seal. Harp seals spend most of their time diving and swimming in the icy waters of the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. That's what we're talking about. These sleek swimmers often hunt for fish and crustaceans at 300 feet, 90 meters, and may dive to nearly 1,000 feet, 300 meters. Wow. They are able to remain submerged for up to 15 minutes. Boys and girls, what that means is that they can be underwater for 15 minutes. Wow, that is amazing. Let's everybody say this together. Harp seal. Harp seal. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going. Okay, wonderful boys and girls. Here is another kind of whale that you could find in the Arctic and at the North Pole, South Pole. This one is called a humpback whale. Everybody say this together. Humpback whale. They live in oceans all around the world, and they travel great distances every year. In fact, they have one of the longest migrations of any mammal on the planet. Some populations swim 5,000 miles from tropical breeding grounds to colder, more productive feeding grounds. Wow. A lot of times these whales eat on shrimp-like crustaceans. They like krill, they like small fish, and straining huge volumes of ocean water through their baleen plates. Wow, this is just amazing. They're beautiful, majestic. The humpback whale. After me, boys and girls, let's say it again. Humpback whale. All right, boys and girls, look at that picture. This is a very interesting looking sea animal. It's called a narwhal. A narwhal. And the horn that you see coming from the whale's head is actually a large tooth. That's right, the narwhal has a large tooth. It's considered the unicorn of the sea. They are known for the large tusks protruding from their heads. In fact, the narwhal's spiral tusk can grow up to 10 feet in length. The narwhal's tusk is actually a large tooth, and it contains about 10 million nerve endings. This is amazing. This means the tusk likely has some sensory capabilities. The animal got its name from the Norse word nar, which means corpse-like. And so, with this in mind, some people say it's like the corpse whale. This may be in reference to the narwhal's gray-white coloring, which sort of resembles a dead body. Yikes! All right, so that is the narwhal. Remember, it's like the unicorn of the sea. Let's say it together. Narwhal. All right, boys and girls, look at this animal. This animal is called an orca. You might have seen this before. It's an orca, sometimes called a killer whale. It's black with white highlight spots around the eyes and a white belly. The apex predator of the seas, the orca or killer whale, is a member, actually, of the dolphin family. One of the world's most powerful hunters, orcas use surprisingly sophisticated techniques while on the hunt. They are spread out in oceans all over the world. Orcas now are most commonly found in colder waters surrounding the North and South Pole. They are considered the most widely spread mammals after human beings. Wow, that was some interesting information. Orca. Repeat after me, boys and girls. Orca. All right, beautiful boys and girls, look at what you see on the screen. Those are penguins. They're penguins, and they are birds. But instead of wings, they have flippers. They cannot fly, and on land, they just sort of waddle when they walk around upright. Though, when swim conditions are right, they will slide on their bellies. In the water, they are expert swimmers and divers, and some species can reach up to 15 miles per hour. And you know, they have that very distinctive coloring, black body with a white belly. That helps camouflage the bird in the water as it searches for meals of small shrimp, fish, crabs, and squid. All right, so those cute little fellows are penguins. Say that with me, penguins. Great job. Okay, boys and girls, let's continue learning. I just want you to know I am so proud of you, and your learning potential is limitless. Let's talk a little bit about polar bears. Polar bears and the Arctic region go together perfectly. In fact, the word Arctic is derived from the ancient Greek word for bear, arctos. All right, so that's something interesting that I didn't know. Now, their sense of smell is super impressive. A polar bear can smell a seal underneath water and snow for nearly a half mile away. Even if the seal is beneath 3 feet of snow, the bear can still sniff out its presence. Wow. So, boys and girls, that's an animal that you will see in both the North and the South Pole. It is a polar bear. Just say it after me. Polar bear. Well, boys and girls, meet Sammy the seal. There he is. He is so cute. Let's talk a little bit about seals. Seals and sea lions belong to a group of marine mammals called pinnipeds, which means a fin or flipper-footed. They are adapted for life in the ocean, but come on land for long periods of time. Wow. That is something you can know about seals, that they can be in the water and they can also come on land for a while. So that's another animal that lives in the North and South Pole. Let's say it together, boys and girls. Seal. Beautiful boys and girls, let's continue learning. Now here is a very interesting bird. It's called a snowy owl. And it's different from a lot of other birds because most owls, they're active at night, But the snowy owl, they hunt in the daytime, and that's different. This makes them diurnal, and animals that are active during the day and not nocturnal, which means they would be active at night. A capable predator, the snowy owl's diet mainly consists of lemmings, a lot of lemmings. In fact, a family of snowy owls can eat up to 1,500 lemmings, wow, before the fledglings fly off. A lemming is a kind of bird. These birds, the snowy owl, they're tough and they're fast. They can fly fast enough to knock over a grown human being. Ooh, better stay away from them. So boys and girls, that polar animal is a snowy owl. Let's say it together. Snowy owl. Wonderful children, this is our last polar animal, and you might be familiar with it. It's a walrus. This is Wally the walrus. It is a walrus, and these are very, very comfortable in frosty weather. They are just as strong as a polar bear and just as dangerous. And their impressive tusks, you see the tusks, are a gift and a curse because they are killed because of their tusks, and this is unfortunate. Walruses are strange, aggressive, and unusual animals. So just keep that in mind. That's how they look. You can see that they have flippers and they have those different tusks. And again, they are just as powerful as a polar bear. And so just keep that in mind. And here's another interesting fact about them. They can stay underwater for up to half an hour. Half an hour, that's a long time. They eat things like shrimp, crabs, tube worms, soft corals, tunicates, sea cucumbers. Those are the kinds of things that they eat. So here's our last sea animal before we begin our listening comprehension activity. Here it is, walrus. Let's say it with me, walrus. All right, boys and girls, we are about to do a little comprehension activity. What's going to happen is you're going to see an animal on the screen, and I want you to see if you can guess, or remember rather, what that animal is called. All right, so we're getting ready for this activity. I think there are about 10 slides. Get ready. Let's see how much you learned. We're just going to have fun. And it doesn't matter what your score is because you're learning at your own pace, which I like. All right, let's keep going. Take care. All right, boys and girls, what animal is this? What animal do you see on your screen? Guess what? You got it right. If you said harp seal, you got it right. You are correct. Harp seal. Cute little fellow. Harold the harp seal. Look at the picture and see if you can guess what polar animal this is. It is, you're right, it's an Arctic fox. An Arctic fox. Arnold the Arctic fox. Cute little fella. And remember that they are very, very special. Okay, do you recognize this fella? He's just as strong as a polar bear. You got it right. It is Wally the walrus. The walrus, they're very strong animals, and they have flippers, and they can swim, and they're on land at times. So just remember that we need to protect our Earth, the polar areas, the North Pole and the South Pole, boys and girls. That's so important. All right, let's keep learning. We have a few more questions. All right, who is that big fella swimming underwater? Remember, they can swim underwater for long periods of time. You got it right. It is a polar bear. You did it. All right, that is Paul the polar bear. You got it right, boys and girls. Good job. Here's another image. Do you remember what we call this cute fella? Remember, he can actually sing, so to speak, underwater. You got it. It is a beluga whale. It is Bernard the beluga whale. That's right. Beluga whales. Remember, their melon, their head, the part of the front of their head can change shape. Don't forget that. All right, do you remember this guy? Do you know what he is? You got it right. You did a great job. It is an Arctic wolf. That's Walter the Arctic wolf. That is correct. Let's keep going. All right, there are many kinds of whales. Do you know what kind of whale this is? You got it right. It is a humpback whale. This is Harry the humpback whale. That's right. Great job. Okay, remember, this is one of those birds you don't want to play with, and they don't hunt at night. They hunt in the day. You got it right. It is a snowy owl. Remember, they can fly so fast that they can knock over a human being. A snowy owl. This is Sandra the snowy owl. All right, let's see if you got this one right. All right, you did. The caribou reindeer. Caribou, that's right. This is Karen the caribou reindeer. That's right. They live in the North and South Poles. Let's keep learning. All right, do you remember what we call these cute little fellows? They cannot fly. They don't have wings. They have flippers. You got it right. They are penguins. They are penguins. And they cannot fly, but they can swim very well underwater. All right, do you know what you see on the screen? You're right. It is an orca. It is an orca, Orlando the orca whale, and they are all over the world. Orcas are in the North Pole, South Pole, Western Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. They're just everywhere. All right, boys and girls, let's keep learning. We got a few more slides. All right, what do you see? She is so cute. Do you remember what we call this bird? That's right. It's a tern. It's an Arctic tern. This is Tammy the Arctic tern. That is correct. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going. Now, boys and girls, there are different species of this kind of animal. Do you know what this one is? You got it right. It is a bearded seal. So we have seals, but this is a bearded seal. Bernard, the bearded seal. All right, great job. Wow, do you remember what we call this interesting looking fish? It has a long tooth. That is actually a tooth. It's a narwhal. That's right, it's a narwhal. And sometimes they're referred to as the unicorn of the sea. All right, that's a very interesting looking animal. Let's keep going. All right, boys and girls, you think you can outrun this little fella? Well, probably not, because they're super, super fast. Not even the fastest man in the world can outrun an Arctic hare. That's right, it's an Arctic hare. All right, that's Harry the Arctic hare. And we have one more slide. You are so brilliant. Don't forget that your learning potential is limitless. Here's our last slide, boys and girls. Let's get to it. All right, do you recognize this cute little fella? Do you? Yes, he's back. It's Sammy the seal. Sammy the seal. All right, boys and girls, well, this concludes our presentation. I hope you learned so much about these polar animals that we must protect so that they do not become extinct. When they become extinct, that means they won't be here with us on Earth anymore. So it's up to us to protect the animals, all right? Well, have a beautiful day, boys and girls. Thank you for listening, watching, and learning with Avant-garde Books.